Hello everyone, welcome to Matplotlib. So today's session we'll be moving towards to the things for the Quiver plots. We have a variety of plots in that. So today we'll be discussing how we are using a Quiver plots. We call Quiver Quiver plots, and we just use a arrow like the basics plots, like how we have to just create a simple arrow using a Quiver plot first. So let's see that first. Let's go. Yeah, so in that just we want to import the both things, the libraries. So we just want to import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt, and one more is your numpy, import numpy as np. So those two plots are imported properly. Like we are having this type of Quiver plots on that, so we imported the first thing. Let's creating our arrow. So this is the basics Quiver plot, like with one arrow if you use to work on that. So just create a basics plots. I'm just going with the position, x position. So x position will go with 0, then we move to y position equals to 0, then we move to the direct, like x direct and y position direct. What is the direction on that? Like for the x direction, so x dir direction equals to 1. For the y as well, for the y direction, so y dir y direction equals to 1. So this is the 4 direction we done. Now we are moving to the creating a basic plots. For that we need a data to be using on that, then the x-axis, because with that we have to go with so x, and then we are just plotting it using plt dot subplots, how we are using for the others plotting. The same way here also we are doing for the subplots. So subplots, inside the subplots we are just giving the figure size, like what is the figure size you wanted. You can skip this figure size, but it we need to see in a proper way, so we give the figure size for this. So I'm giving the figure size 10,8. so one of the figure size I give the figure size, and then we are moving to the Quiver plot. So we use the Quiver keyword as well. So x dot Quiver, so Quiver Quiver, and the position what we already give, so x pos comma your y pos, then you are moving to the x direct, x dir, and then we are moving to y dir. We already taken this x direction, we kept this all the details on that, and then we just need to set the title. I just want to set the title, the set title title, just giving the title. I'm just giving the title with a Quiver plot only, so Quiver Quiver plots, and then we need to see that. So plt dot show. So this is exactly the Quiver plots. Like when you work on this Quiver plots, you can observe your arrow is there. I just zoom out the things, so you can observe your Quiver plots are properly, it is in a comes in a one single arrow. So this is how you have to create a Quiver plot with this. Basically this Quiver plot is working for that purpose, to create a arrows in a direction, in a left or right direction. It's for like you are taking it for the things to giving the arrow to the databases. So that is the main reason why we are using our Quiver plots. Like if you want to know like what exactly this is a 2D plots we call. Basically it's used for 2D plotting, which allows you to vector lines arrows. Like we having a mathematical concept called vectors, so we are using this plotting to use this vector arrow, like you can observe it here. So we are using this for those plotting. And electrical engineer, mostly these plots are using for to do electrical engineer to visualize their electrical potential, like how many electric potential. Then sometimes the show cadvance and mechanical engineer, so they use this plotting to understand like that, like how many slots are there, how many slots. Let's see with the same things with the double arrows. Like if you go with the 2 arrows, how you have to do it. So yeah, I'm just taking it the same code here to go with the second position. We already imported, we just taken it the x post and y post, we are moving to here. So when it comes to the 2, we need to give the 2 arrows, right? So it will be come in the array wise, so 0 comma 0. The same way for the next one, it will be also 0 comma 0 will be bind up. This is x direction. Also when it comes to x direction, you have to give direction, that will be 1 comma 0, 1 comma 0, and then it will be your, like, you have to give the direction for this as well, 1 comma minus 1. So we give the direction. When it comes to the figure size, I'm giving the figure size the same, I'm not changing the figure size. When the cues, you have to pass the values what you give. And if you need to add the scales, like what is the scales you want to go with, so you can add the scales after this. Like when I go with, I just add the scale features. So what is the scale I want to give, so you can use this features, you can give this particular scale values there. And then we are going with the things with the x's for before the titles. You give the title. Here what happened, we need to give the x's values, like what you have to give the x's for the scale. So we already created x, so we are going with x dot x's, axis. Inside that, we are going inside to give the values. So I'm going with the values 1.5 comma 1.5, and then I'm going with minus 1.5, and then comma 1.5. So this is some values we are giving for the x's, and then the Quiver plot the title and the so this is how basically we use for the double arrows. You can observe that this is our double arrows for those particular areas. Here what happened, we just go with the basic thing, like we are going with the 2 arrows, like x pose, y pose, x direction, y direction, and we are moving to plot it with the double arrows. So this is how we are using for double arrows. You can use this thing to create a like 2D ways, like the move, like not only a double, you can use multiple values of arrays. So that's your wish how you want to do that. Like you can do using the equals or gradients operations also, like whenever you want to use that. So this is how you have to use this Quiver plots. We use in a electrical or mechanical concept more in this to understand the strep or potential. So we use this to find out those. Thank you.